Hi guys, I'm Shmee, and today you join me to take a look at this car, the Lexus LFA Nurburgring Edition. Now my friend, the owner, has lent me the keys to show you the car and take it out for a drive and see what it's about. And believe me when I tell you now, this is one of the best sounding cars you will ever hear. Let's get started then with a little look around it before I take it out for a test drive to see and experience something that is truly rare and special. In fact, the LFA Nürburgring package, there are only 50 of them in the world, and it's really quite likely that this is the only one in the United Kingdom at all. So out of the 500 LFAs that normally had 560 horsepower from the 4.8 litre naturally aspirated V10, the Nürburgring packages took that up by 11 horsepower, added the fixed rear wing in carbon fibre at the back, configured everything slightly more aggressively, and prepared it for a 7 minutes and 14-second lap time at the Nordschleife, which at the time was one of the fastest cars. So this launched in 2010. They were built between 2010 and 2012. It was created as an experiment by Toyota under the Lexus brand to build something truly special. So they partnered with all sorts of companies that could help. Yamaha for the acoustics from the exhaust noise that you're going to hear shortly. The design is really quite aggressive, but very much Lexus, so it has a luxuriousness to it. It's a front-engine GT, rear-wheel drive driven, has a 6-speed sequential manual gearbox. It has that long look to it, but such clean lines, the way you can see them going all the way down the car, and I think it's one of the best looking cars that I've seen in recent times, to be honest. I loved it the first time I drove an LFA in California. And in fact, on that day, I had the same kind of low sun that we have today as well. But you come around here, it's got such distinctive shapes. It's got these little lip spoilers at the side, combined with that massive carbon fibre fixed wing that's so high that you actually look out the rear view underneath it. Down here, you've got the signature triangular triple exhaust pipes that, like I said, make one of the best sounds that you can ever hear from any car, believe me. And then if we come and have a little look at the interior, the doors open with the button just here that you press. In the Nürburgring edition, it's all Alcantara. The seats fit very snugly inside either side of the central console tunnel. And there are many quirks and things that are unusual, not hugely familiar. So let me just jump in actually and show you one or two things in here. So put the key in there. Start it up with the button on the steering wheel. And that noise. So let me just close the door for a moment. The dials, digital display, and it is actually digital because the needle sweeps so fast when you rev it that an analog dial couldn't even keep up, which is just a crazy statistic. To put it into sport mode, you have this jog dial here that goes up for sport, down for wet, and then you get that view, which just looks cool. You can control a series of settings and menus, and as you can see, the rev counter actually moves across the screen as you go through all of this. And I've shown this actually in my video, but it was 3 years ago, so many people will not have seen it. For the moment though, let me pop the window down and just listen to this. That noise is ridiculous! And the general design in here, the carbon fibre, the Alcantara, it's super cool, and it was, well, really quite very far ahead of its time. You've got a cursor which is a little bit funny and outdated now, but that was a bit forwards at the time. Just generally though, it makes you feel so good being in here. If I open up the bonnet, which is down here somewhere, there we go. Actually, I should probably just switch it off for the moment. Jump out, take a little look under the hood. Around here, lever, if I can find it, there we go. Pop that up. It needs to be supported with a rod, so I'm just holding it by my hand for the moment, but you can see the carbon fibre finish of the panel. The whole body is made out of a special composite, but that's the 4.8 litre naturally aspirated V10, 571 horsepower, capable of 0 to 62 miles an hour in about 4 seconds, and a top speed a smidge over 200 miles per hour. I'll just drop that back down. You've got all of these lines for cooling through the car, cooling through to the engine, obviously air through for the wheel wells, air here, coming back through again to cool down brakes, everything, everywhere you look. And there are clever things like the bottle for the water liquids, for the windscreen washer is down here in the side because there wasn't any room with the big engine, that kind of thing. But I think I should jump in now and go for a little drive and experience one of the greatest, I think, modern supercars. Let's see what this is like. Welcome to what I'm going to call heaven. Just listen to this gentle wail in the background of the V10 on the countryside roads here, 4th gear. Go up and down. The gearbox is not necessarily the best because it's this automated sequential manual, so 6-speed gearbox, you have to fluctuate the throttle slightly, but this is in normal mode and it's just heavenly. There is, quite frankly, nothing better than that sound. And I thought, well, V8s are typically my thing, but this is just astonishing. The sound is tuned by Yamaha to make it sound even better. Japanese working magic on that, and it was quite a special thing about the car at the time it came out, but it's such a fast revving sound. It blips beautifully, and it's just, even when you're idling it like this right now, it sounds truly dreamy. Now I'm driving around some testing bumpy countryside roads where naturally this car is not developed for. It's created for the Nürburgring, quite a smoother race circuit, particularly in this version, although even the standard car is that way inclined. You have this carbon fibre and Alcantara steering wheel, flat bottomed, feels great in the hands, and then you have a toggle here to put it into sport mode. So we're in sport mode, out onto the countryside lanes, and just listen to this sound. It's pure heaven, up to 9,000 RPM. It's glorious. It's just absolutely amazing. And that downshift noise, 2nd gear, is anything better than this ever. I really, really, really don't think it possibly could be. Oh, so this road's a little bit on the bumpy side, like I said. Just test it for its paces a little bit. You definitely feel it. The suspension is set up for the Nürburgring. But that noise as I just look around and try and take in everything that I've got in this car to look at, and the controls, everything's lifted straight out of a regular Lexus model, except for the engine. That engine. I mean, my goodness. It's pure heavenly. Oh my gosh. Now obviously this is a left-hand drive car in the UK, so that takes a little bit of the mind calibrating, but you just feel a true sense of special occasion in here. You've got great visibility actually. I mean, it's GT style configuration. You can see the intake vents through the door mirror, but it's such a high pitch but perfectly tuned sound. It's, I guess I'm probably using every adjective I possibly can to describe it, but it really is that kind of true spectacular sound. So just pull out onto a smoother bit of road here. Talking for a moment, because I think it does it better than I possibly could. Honestly, this is just incredible. Let's put it back to normal and then go into wet mode just to experience it more gently. Yeah, you can actually go automatic on the gearbox, but I don't really think you ever would want to. When you've gone manual, I think it stays manual. So automatic, 6th gear, cruising along where it's a little bit quieter, a bit more relaxed and gentle. Actually becomes quite civilized, to be honest with you. You know, you've got all your media, all your entertainment, all your controls from that point of view. You've got various things you can change and toggle. Putting it into reverse is a slightly unusual feeling because you have to do things a strange way, and done a bad job of going down some gears there, but I wanted to go back into manual, to be honest. Should we just keep it comfort? So the sound is pretty much the same, I believe. Back into sport. I'm lost for words, guys. This is just monumentally awesome. You can turn traction off, but we're not going to do that. Wow. Now this little loop has some amazing roads. Let's just experience this again. You get the blip at the red line. Even just the overrun noise, not the bubbles or anything, but just lifting off and hearing that tone, that frequency, that pitch. They did such a magical thing with this car. Honestly, as an experience. I mean, some things are out of date. Obviously, it's a car that was released 7 years ago now. Things like the entertainment system, they're all there, the reversing camera and all of that, which was super far ahead of the time back then, you know, digital display for the driver. That was basically, well, non-existent back then. It was a completely new thing, whereas now you'll have it on your regular hatchback or, you know, a Golf, that kind of car. I am completely in love with an engine sound. The Lexus LFA is one of the very best, if not the best, that I have driven inside. I mean, outside it's not that loud, but inside you get all of the noise in the car. It just sings. Oh boy, you can feel the car. I don't know the exact weight, but it feels a little bit on the heavy side for the kind of car. Steering feels pretty good, but could maybe be slightly more precise. I mean, it's got the weight of the engine up front. But all of these things just come together to make this car what it is. And it's really something incredible to drive. Let's just take another little moment to explore around here again then. I'll show you some things in slightly more detail than we saw earlier on. And please excuse quite how bright that sunlight is. I appreciate it's a little bit annoying. But you've got a couple of settings and things you can control in here. Go through the different menus. It's just, I don't know, it's really, really futuristic when you think when this came out and when this was launched. On the steering wheel, that's controlled through that button, but you've got the shifter pedals fixed to the column behind, which are really, really nice pedals to pull. They're nice long shape, easily accessible. Then the reverse gear that I mentioned before, you pull and hold this, which is odd. I think rear fog for the Nurburgring edition is the button just back there. Then lower down, the traction control, your mirrors are controlled down here. Just please excuse me for the light. Then you've got the infotainment system, all of this side of things, which, like I said, is a little bit old school and kind of out of date now, but hey, it was cool at the time. And this car is not about that to me, it's about how it drives and what it's actually like. And you've got, just like a computer really, the buttons to go forwards and back and click things. And then a small bit of glove box over here, actually quite a decent glove box, lots of space inside there. And then all the Alcantara, and the seats have airbags in the seat belts, sorry, which is unusual, quite nice when you're wearing them. And then these Alcantara clad seats, I think custom for this car again, very, very cool, with a parcel shelf back behind us, and the number of the LFA on this plaque in the middle back here. So it's really quite ridiculously cool. If I just open the door, show you the seat controls, you move your seat with this, so that's forwards and backwards, or the other way around, and that's the backrest. And then you've got, I think, seat heating down there at the front, and the button to release it and fold it forwards if that's what you want to do. Door pocket, amazing sound system, and just all the metals and things you touch are all really nicely finished. Awesome feel to everything that you touch. So let's turn it back off, take out the key. Key is this carbon fibre piece with a separate immobiliser, but that's a little bit out of date. It'd be nice to have that updated and tidied back up now. But let's just step out one last time, the final little look around the car. Lighter weight wheels, massive ceramic brakes, sits quite low, and then this design, all these shapes that are created for aerodynamic efficiency and airflow and cooling, and keeping the car and making it possible to do what it can do, which was very much based on the Lexus race cars at the time, competing in the Nürburgring Nordschleife races, the N24 and events like that. But this thing, to me, it's all about the sound. And when it comes to sound, there is nothing that does it better than the LFA. Nothing at all. So this has been a pretty epic experience, an amazing opportunity to drive this car and share the video with you. So a huge thanks goes to the owner, whose Instagram link is down below. Go check it out. You've seen a few of the cars before, the SLS Black Series, Koenigsegg Agera RS, Naraya, and a few others. But today has been awesome. It's one of my favorite cars, I think. LFA, up there with some of the best, some of my favorite that I've ever driven. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've definitely enjoyed filming it. So make sure you subscribe, check out all future videos to come, and I'll catch up with you again very soon. Cheers.